While Jason was making a huge show of taking Tiffany skiing in Hokkaido, I didn't argue or cry. I simply broke up with him, calm as still water. He exploded, all this drama because I didn't take you on one ski trip. It wasn't only that he kept ditching me for his little protege. It was that the corner store sold brown sugar, and he whined it was too far, preferring to watch me curl up in cramps rather than make the 5-minute run. Yet Hokkaido was thousands of miles away, and because Tiffany cried, he burned the money we'd saved for our wedding to whisk her off. Right then I decided this rotten life had spoiled past saving. He slammed the door, snarling that I should enjoy my tantrum. Day 1 after he left, I signed the Eastwood expatriate contract. Day 2, I hauled every last suitcase out of our loft. Day 3, I smashed the heart-shaped Polaroid wall I'd built brick by brick. Day 4, I said goodbye to friends and drank until the room spun. On the 7th day his plane touched down while mine lifted off, 2 contrails crossing in opposite skies. You sail south, I ride north, from this horizon strangers we remain. Jason bounced off the sofa, stuffing his suitcase and barking without looking at me. Skylar, transfer the cash we set aside in the joint account. Tiffany just reposted another toxic couple humblebrag. She's devastated and needs Hokkaido powder to breathe. Everyone's swamped, only I can go. I cupped a lukewarm takeout ginger tea, fingers icy. On my screen Tiffany's last WhatsApp still glowed. The snow in Hokkaido is pure magic. Borrowing Jason for a week. Thanks Skylar, followed by a coy tongue-out emoji. Only I knew how stomach-turning that cuteness really was, yet I felt nothing. Flat, smooth, done. That's our wedding fund. Yeah, not touching your half, just send me my share. He shoved past, ignoring my doubled-over cramps, and fished his power bank from behind the cushion. Understand this, when the skiing's over, Tiffany flies home. After that she'll be too far away to offend your eyes, promise. Zip, tuck, roll. He never once lifted his gaze. The dim lamp painted his face with boyish thrill, and every line of him felt suddenly foreign. So this is what happy to cross the world for someone looks like. An hour earlier I'd been crippled by cramps on the sofa, begging him to buy some ginger tea packets. His fingers flicked over his tablet, brows knitted as he chose kibble, a cat cave and feather toys for Tiffany's stray kitten. Darling, snow's coming, it's freezing, there's a whole street to cross, give it a rest. I'm human too. I slave for pennies out there and come home to be your errand boy? I'm beat. Plus ginger tea is just placebo, same as hot water. We've got a kettle in the kitchen, brew yourself a cup. He muttered, eyes still on squeaky toys. Some girls are just so high maintenance. The some girls meant Tiffany, voice chatting in his AirPods the whole time. I exhaled, stared straight at him. So taking a half day off, trekking across town to buy her candied apples wasn't errand boy work? Jason's hand froze on the screen. His lifted eyes were cold, annoyed. Must you nitpick? Tiffany's a guest, my professor's daughter, new in town, shouldn't I show some hospitality? Skylar, you used to be so understanding. What happened to you? Because I was understanding, I should swallow every slight, paste on a smile while he ignored, undercut, betrayed me? When the girl broke up with her boyfriend she landed in our city without warning and stayed 2 full months. Every time I ran a fever he climbed night hills to watch city lights with her. When I was trapped in a downpour they ate hot pot beside floor-to-ceiling windows, rain as their curtain. The night I flew in from a business trip he switched his phone off for her movie date. All her portside expenses, our wedding gown and honeymoon money, he never hesitated. His script was always, Skylar, you're the mature one, don't corner me. Professor Zhou took me in countless times when I was broke. Her kindness was the only warmth I knew. Without her, there's no me, get it? If she wanted half my life she could have it, let alone a bit of cash. I get it, Jason felt a deep debt. To the woman who once gave him a hand, going all out seemed fair. If I balked I was small, ungrateful, petty. But does repaying a mentor include sharing one pair of chopsticks with her daughter? Warming her feet in his palms? Slipping the engagement ring meant for me onto her finger? Tiffany screenshot each moment and mailed them over. Skylar is so understanding. Surely you won't prove the rumors right? Everyone says you always look bitter and stingy. Everyone meant Jason's old college crew, Tiffany's new fan club. Because her departure date kept sliding and a 5-star suite runs $1,000 a night, I suggested switching to a nice Airbnb. Tiffany teared up. I'm such a burden, forget the hotel, I'll leave tomorrow. Instantly I became the cheapskate engraved on their group chat wall of shame. They ghosted me at gatherings, froze me out during karaoke, even counted heads at the river rafting park so I'd raft with strangers. Jason knew. At first he apologized sheepishly, then sulked, finally snapped. Can't you just try to fit in? Look how Tiffany clicks with everyone. Try a little sweetness. It won't kill you. I didn't have a dazzling mom whose legacy let me coast on goodwill. My clumsy attempts to ingratiate myself became their private joke, a try-hard, a people-pleaser. Later their outings simply erased me. The kettle boiled, big bubbles rolling. Jason paced, phone to ear, calming Tiffany who was supposedly crying because of me and wanted to fly home. The way he iced me while lighting up for her was neon bright contrast. I hadn't the strength left to fight. I opened an app, ordered a ginger tea kit. Leaning against the door waiting for delivery, I heard him whisper, "Good girl, stop CR. Ing, hot pot, cake, flowers, plus the toy for mittens are all on the way. Tell Her Majesty the care package from Uncle Jason is out for delivery." The instant he hung up his grin fell off. Meeting my flat stare he turned cold as the iron outside. Happy now? Making those snide remarks in front of Tiffany. Never had candied apples or crosstown gifts from me? His irritation, once invisible, was now my daily view. Watching love rot in real time leaves you helpless and heartsick. Yet a relationship only needs 2 yes to start, 1 no to end. Even knowing the curtain was falling, hurt still pulled acid in my chest. All evening you can click order for them. How hard is it to add 1 ginger tea kit for me? I laughed bitterly, because I don't matter, right? My pain ranks under Tiffany's tears. My relief loses to her hot pot and cake smile. Jason's pupils twitched, he knew. Still he wrapped himself in the cloak of obligation, tying me up as the dumb martyr. I laughed softly, lowered my eyes, and pushed past his stammering excuses. Stop explaining. The bitter, nagging girlfriend is exiting your circle, and your life. The door slam guillotined his frantic voice. Later the delivery girl arrived with ginger tea. Seeing me unable to straighten, she urged, "Cramps are brutal. If it gets worse please go to the ER." I nodded, grateful. A stranger's kindness, hotter than his, nearly made me cry on that friendless night. When I turned, Jason was somehow standing behind me. "Sorry, you've always been reasonable, indulge me this once. Professor Zhou's kindness it's everything. I can't leave her daughter adrift." He boiled water, steeped the tea, warmed my feet, cooked porridge. Finally coaxed me on the sofa. "Tiffany's only here to heal from heartbreak. Once I put her on next week's plane to her mom you'll never see her again, purely platonic, I swear. Skylar, don't fight me. Lifetimes are long, don't quarrel over a single week, okay?" He didn't know our life. Time had already expired. While he fussed over plain snacks for her, I'd answered an Eastwood call and accepted the overseas transfer. He'd been too wrapped up to hear. "Skylar? Enough." His low, warning growl yanked me back. Staring at that face always half a second from rage, I pulled out my phone and wired him every cent of the $311,000 he'd parked with me, down to the dime. Probably won't need all that, but hey, travel wide, can't let a girl rough it with me. My fingers froze, a laugh slipped out. "Skylar, I can't let you suffer, so I'll scrimp and save and build our dream wedding fund coin by coin." The sight of him spinning me in circles still lived in my pupils, yet the cash he'd vowed for my no-suffering was now paying so she wouldn't suffer. Crash, Jason yanked his charging cord, my cup toppled, ginger tea flooding the floor. He scowled, "Can't you keep this place tidy? Look at Tiffany, younger than you but neater, even her." He caught himself, then raised his voice to beat back his guilt. "Saw it in a photo. Stop the drama, okay? Let me start my trip in peace." Only when he knows he's wrong yet refuses to fold does he puff like this. Just a family friend, he claims, yet he slept in her bed. When a man has seen a girl's sheets, the story tells itself. The pain in my abdomen burrowed deeper, cold blade twisting. "Trip can get merrier," I whispered, icy smile hooked. "Let's break up." Jason's zipper hand froze, his face turned darker than the snow-laden sky outside. "I knew it, you'll never let me live in peace. All this drama just because I didn't take you skiing? You love throwing tantrums, right? Knock yourself out." The door slammed shut with a crack. A backdraft of cold air slapped my face and punched the tears I'd been holding back. I knew the script. Jason was standing 1 door away, waiting for me to open it. That was our rule. No matter how ugly the fight, how loud the screaming, if the one who walked out stayed on the other side of the door, and the one left inside was willing to twist the knob, it counted as a mutual olive branch, everything ugly wiped clean. We'd used that childish loophole to plaster over cracks more times than I could count. But this time, I stared at the tea crawling across the floor, staining the rug I'd hunted forever. A ruin that wouldn't wash out yet I couldn't bring myself to toss, exactly like this relationship, bland enough to spit out, too familiar to quit. That door? I didn't want to open it anymore. On the phone's security feed, Jason leaned the back of his head against the wall, sharp brows pinched, face a tangle of irritation and indecision. He was scared that if the door opened I'd beg him not to leave. He overthought it this time. The second Tiffany's WhatsApp bubble flashed, he flicked one last look at the shut door and left without a backward glance. I picked up the ruined rug and stuffed it straight into the trash. Filthy, gone. I opened the app and ordered a box of painkillers. If your phone can buy it, don't expect someone else to. Jason had drilled that into me. A new message popped up. Jason, I'm out. A week should give you plenty of time to finish your meltdown. He thought I was still melting. Not happening. I swallowed the pills, killed the screen, and sank into a heavy, dreamless sleep, never once caring whether he stayed or went. The instant Jason's plane touched down, Tiffany updated her feed, a tall back hauling 2 bulging suitcases, a pink cartoon mini bag dangling off one shoulder. Jason. Tiffany captioned it, the way he shot through those clouds for me, childish yet so safe. Jason's buddies liked it one by one. Zoe, Xavier's girlfriend, finally asked, where's Skylar? Last I heard the honeymoon was Hokkaido too. Are you guys together? 60 seconds later the shameless post vanished. Then Jason messaged me. Go explain in the group chat. Tiffany's in a funk, tell them you generously let me keep her company so he could blow off steam. They already dislike you, don't waste the chance to change their mind. I got it. I typed one line in the chat, no point forcing my way into a circle that isn't mine. From now on you won't need a side group to talk behind my back, enjoy your lifelong friendship. Then I left the chat. Phone off, I pushed open the senior partner's office and signed the overseas transfer letter. When I'd stayed in Portside for Jason everyone said I was crazy. Even now, watching love drop ripe to the pavement and splatter like rotten fruit, I still don't regret it. Because at the height of loving him, choosing love was choosing my own heart, so I won't obsess, won't bite back bitterness once I have both fame and money, whining about the priceless love I lost. Only after I'd tasted every bitter edge of love did I realize how sweet, how intoxicating it is to hold money and an exit strategy in your own hand. Jason's dozens of missed calls and rants were erased with one tap. I had too much to do to humor his roaring. In the loft we'd shared 5 years, my things became boxes overnight. Half shipped home, half packed in the suitcase I'd roll away with. Jason stopped reaching out, his trademark silence, the starter pistol for every Cold War. Before, I'd always caved, when cramps doubled me over on the bed, when every familiar object felt like a noose, when emotion flooded and I lost control, I'd crawl back and apologize. Pathetic, spineless, hopeless. I knew the labels, but I couldn't stop. The tumor was lashed to my heart, every tug spurted my own blood. One cut and the tumor barely flinched while I hemorrhaged. Withdrawal started the night I skipped their alumni dinner. Every retreat had sliced a layer off the wall around my heart. After enough cuts, the pain numbed. Leaving him began to feel like the least painful step of all. Tiffany couldn't resist flaunting their honeymoon, arm looped through Jason's, from Nakajima Park to Tanakakoji shopping arcade. She cooed, Skylar, Hokkaido is gorgeous. You really must come next time. Oh wait, the itinerary you wrote? I've come in your place. Jason's mad, but don't worry, I'll smooth things over for you. I darkened the screen and ignored her. Quietly booked a handyman for next morning. The pink heart-shaped wall in the middle of the loft, I'd built it myself. It split kitchen from living room and wore every photo chronicling Jason and me. I peeled them off one by one and dropped them in the trash. I used to swear, if love isn't rock solid, that wall would collapse with it. So while Tiffany and Jason splashed in hot springs, while she chirped that she'd send me every view so you can travel too, I took the handyman's hammer. Crash! The heart wall came down. Stacking it brick by brick had taken a full day. Throwing the mess away took 30 minutes. With the last shard gone, I left the keys on the coffee table and shut the door on Jason and me forever. Day 4, amid BA's endless white, Jason built 2 cuddly snowmen for Tiffany. She stamped forever in the snow beneath them. I was clinking glasses with friends in a dive bar. Tipsy, we migrated to karaoke. Nobody shoved me to a corner, no one ordered me to cue songs or fetch drinks. They wrapped arms around me, belted anthems, sweat and tears flying. To Skylar, bright future, blazing light, long live freedom. Freedom won't last forever, but friendship will. Thank you for fishing me out of the fire each time I peeled away another layer of skin. For delivering fever meds to my door. For driving me home through torrential rain. For finding lonely me in downtown Eastwood at 2 a.m. and whispering, we're still here. Every time I nearly rotted into surrender, friendship bloomed like rescue flowers in my wounds. We drank until dawn, then face-planted in the hotel. Day 5, Jason and Tiffany laced fingers. She sighed, Skylar, such a pity I grew up too late. He met you first. I roamed Portside's alleys, been G'ing on spicy wings, how hot, how numbing, only I know. Day 6, Jason pulled Tiffany close on the pastel slope. She said, Skylar, can't you see? You're the backup. He loves me. I had no time to decode that. Eastwood handover was ending. Co-workers threw me a farewell. No Jason scowl to leash me. I got wasted again. Day 7, Jason texted, landing in 3 hours. Tiffany's heading back to Mistwood. Come pick me up, your gift's too heavy. Typical Jason swagger, his version of apology. He didn't know my outbound flight left in exactly 3 hours. I never answered. He spam called like a madman. I declined every one. Tiffany messaged, thanks, Skylar, for lending Jason 7 days. Short, but we did everything. I gave myself to him, no regrets. She had none, neither did I. All those group chat boasts, the cutesy digs, the proud confession of home wrecking, I packed them into one neat slideshow. The second their plane lifted I hit forward, copying every classmate and every girlfriend. Tiffany called those haters. Xavier's the best, he ditched his date to bathe my kitten. Even Jason says I'm sweeter than that high-maintenance Skylar. Chase queued half a day for my first autumn boba. Skylar only gets the flavor I pass up. Jason says next year's is reserved. What flavor should he bring you? Oops, Xavier was supposed to go leaf peeping with me, but his girlfriend dumped him, so I grabbed Jason for 2 days. You're so understanding, Skylar, surely you won't break up, right? Sorry, Skylar, Chase gave the birthday gift meant for you to me, so Jason insisted on a replacement. I asked for your engagement ring. You're not stingy, are you? Every strut of hers was mixed with another girl's tears. So she reaps what she sowed. After confirming everyone received the file, I blocked Tiffany, Jason, and their rotten crew in one clean sweep. The week-long snow clouds parted the moment I stepped onto the plane. I walked out of the storm alone, blood and tears blooming into flowers along the way. Today I bury the past for good. From here on, bright future, blazing light. Jason had never felt 3 hours crawl like this. He paced, every unanswered international call gnawing at him. He should be rock solid sure, Skylar could never leave him. Her family was a wreck, her father a gambling addict who, in one red-eyed bout, knifed a man dead and maimed 2 others. From that day convict's daughter was branded on her life. Her mother remarried and vanished. Raised by her grandma, she grew up timid, always apologizing. Until she met him. Skylar was beautiful, resilient, as if no hardship could flatten her. She was so considerate that when he chased her she double-checked. Your top school, bright future, sure you want to be tangled up with me? Will your family approve? What will everyone say? Stop it, love isn't a given for someone like me. She was a daisy sprouting through concrete, tiny frame, defying wind and rain, blooming fierce and bright. He loved her, ached for her, used the widest patience, steadiest choice, longest warmth to make her believe she deserved it all. He wasn't just her boyfriend, he was her anchor, her safe place. She couldn't quit him, Jason knew it better than anyone. Maybe that day he'd been too focused on picking cat food and forgot her ginger tea. Maybe he shouldn't have slammed the door she'd chosen so carefully. Maybe the silent treatment dragged too long and froze her heart. So this time she didn't bounce back with one coax. No matter. After her grandma died he'd become her only family. She loved him, and she was deeply dependent. No way, I told myself, she's all bark and no bite. She's probably already waiting at the airport with a surprise. Until the wheels touched down. Jason sprinted for the arrival's curb, craning his neck for that familiar silhouette in the river of faces. But she wasn't there. She hadn't come. A sudden, nameless panic clawed at him. For the first time he wondered whether he could actually coax her back. Whether someone that tough could brutally kick the addiction that had once been her oxygen. He yanked out his phone with shaking hands and dialed Skylar's number nonstop. The hollow tone of a dead line made his face strain. Before he could open her chat, the pinned group chat exploded with 100 new messages. First, Zoe branded Tiffany a manipulator for stealing her boyfriend to wash a cat, leaving her stranded and almost assaulted by a drunk. Then Lena, Chase's fiancée, flashed their marriage license, demanding Tiffany repay every cent of community money Chase had wired behind her back. The numbers were listed one by one, every gift from a husband playing sugar daddy. Ugly, loud, four-way war. Finally a peacemaker classmate wrote, Professor Zhou was good to all of us. Being nice to her daughter is just returning the favor. No need to nitpick. Look at Jason, he's dropped tens of thousands, even took Tiffany on his honeymoon, and Skylar didn't go full stalker. Sophie, Xavier's ex, added, sure didn't go stalker, she just dumped the trash. Then she left the group. A weird, heavy silence fell. Jason stared, rereading the last line over and over, she just dumped the trash. He felt a blunt punch to the skull. Trembling, he scrolled until he found Skylar's chat. One question mark, and back came the red exclamation, blocked. Jason freaked, truly terrified. Ignoring Tiffany behind him, he dove into a cab and raced home the whole way, praying, she's only pouting, only giving me a taste of my own medicine. When I push that door she'll be on the sofa, waiting quiet as always. No more. The neglect was my fault, the coldness my fault, letting the guys hype me and a junior blind me, my eyes and heart were rotten. I love Skylar, 5 years, she's in my marrow, inseparable. I can't quit her, can't lose her. Don't let her walk away, please. Then the door he'd slammed swung wide. The plush toys Skylar had clawed from Ekin. Yes, were gone, only the old sofa's yellowed back sneered at him in cold mockery. The potted greens she'd carried home one by one had vanished, blank walls gaping like his hollow chest. Even the heart-shaped Polaroid wall she had built was smashed away, swept clean, not a shard left. As if he had been scraped entirely out of her life. The welcome mat, the paired mugs on the coffee table, the fridge magnets from every trip, the bath towel in the bathroom, every trace of her was erased, neat and absolute, no wiggle room. Her breakup hadn't been heat of the moment, not a threat, she had meant it. She had seen through my drifting, tagged my waffling, clocked my shameless craving for both worlds, so she dropped me. Jason swayed, one thought drumming, find Skylar, beg forgiveness. But the instant he spun toward the hall he ran into Tiffany fluttering her big innocent eyes. She's gone, perfect. My luggage is here, I can move right in. Jason, I've waited so long for this day. The hands that once served him meals in childhood, the fingers he'd helped with homework, now snaked like vipers to the small of his back. You picked me, didn't you? Jason recoiled. He shoved her away as if she were venom. Are you insane? I have a girlfriend, Skylar. Tiffany's lips curved in a wild, ice-cold smile that didn't match her doe-eyed act. She dumped you, didn't you hear? I want you. Or did you forget? We slept together last night, and Skylar knows. No. Jason shook, gooseflesh rippling. She won't leave me. You twisted facts, drove her off. Once I explain, she'll come back. She loves me. I'm all she's got. I just have to kneel, coax her, and she'll turn around. She has to. Get out. You leave, she'll stop raging. He hurled Tiffany out of the loft he had shared with Skylar, then bolted. But Skylar was gone. No one would tell him where. Her boss sneered down at him like he was a mangy stray. Well, the big shot has free time. No need to babysit your little project, yet. You remember Skylar? Missing your live-in maid? For the first time Jason humbled himself, pleading for news. The woman clicked her tongue, save the act. Skylar passed up 2 overseas rotations for you. What be you ever done for her? Oh, you were thoughtful, afraid she'd be cold, so you gave her a nice thick blanket of betrayal. Do us a favor, let the good girl go. Her heels clacked away. Jason tried to barge in and security slammed him to the floor. People laughed. If you don't know where your girlfriend went, you don't deserve to know. The world spun, and Jason finally got it. She didn't want him following. He had lost Skylar for good. The next time I heard of Jason I was already on my feet in Lyon. Beyond my office window, white sails dotted an endless blue bay. On the phone my Eastwood friend rattled on. Jason's gone full stalker, scouring the planet for you. Per our pact, everyone's lips are sealed, no way that loser gets near you. He's psycho, tried the guilt trip, stood outside my place in a snowstorm and wouldn't budge. Too bad my heart's a blade, I wished the snow had knives. Finally the little manipulator dragged him off wailing. Talk about cheap, when he had you he gazed at the next shiny thing. Now it's gone, he chases like his life depends on it. What, every woman on earth must orbit him? I smiled, calm, that's people, right? Give them steady warmth and they crave wild thrills. After the adrenaline they decide quiet nights are better. But wanting both, who gave him that kind of luck? Relax. I heard enough, I truly don't want him. I hung up and turned to see Lucas, my assistant, holding a hot latte, eyes shining. Skylar, what's for lunch? I'll go by. I could read the fondness spilling out. He said I was fierce, flying solo to carve out a new market and thriving, a force worth admiring. So he adores, flatters, even tiptoes into testing waters. But I'd stepped on a rotten fruit before, the stink stained my path for ages. So I told him sincerely, focus on the job and he'll rise fast. If he keeps delivering love coffees and bento boxes, I'll switch to a different assistant. Deflated, he asked what was wrong with him. 6'3", handsome, meticulous, everything was right. But I'd outgrown the stage where you sweeten life's bitterness with puppy love affection. I don't thrive on worship, I bank on peace bought with real money. I treasure this position. Office romance is off limits, and I can't stand someone using me as a ladder. Strip that away and it's just embarrassing. The kid, fresh out of college, blinked, then backed out quietly. Afterward we both returned to our lanes, pouring everything into work. I shot forward, he charged ahead, we became the perfect team. I figure that's why Jason and I crashed in the end. Deep down he basked in bouquets, applause, adoration, he drank in Tiffany's wide-eyed awe without a second thought. Me, I only want solid quiet and calm. I can't enjoy a young admirer's crush and call it kindness. Christmas came, festive facades glittered with lights, and I cradled a hot latte, zoning out at a blinking tree, when I collided head-on with Jason. Bloodshot exhaustion rimmed his eyes, he croaked, "How could you be so heartless? One fight and you toss away 5 years." I looked at him the way I regarded the warm string lights across the square, flat, unruffled. "Didn't you open the slideshow I sent?" Jason's breath hitched, his face strained. "I didn't know, she set me up, they whispered poison until I saw you through warped glass. I get it now. I've cut every one of them," shipped Tiffany back to Mistwood. "Skylar, we lasted 5 years, chase your summit, I won't block you, but please don't leave me over those misunderstandings." I sipped, tasting the bitter espresso, and answered coolly, "Everything's always someone else's fault. Are you a puppet or a porcelain doll they can arrange? Save the guilt parade, you know I don't buy it. And you only asked them be. 'Cause they turned the same weapons on you. You told me to be reasonable, to give in, to let things slide. Funny how when the shoe's on your foot you kick until head split." Jason froze, staring as if I'd slapped him. He thought I hadn't heard. Soon after I left, Tiffany, spurned, climbed to a rooftop and posted a goodbye in their group chat, accusing Jason of refusing responsibility. Life wasn't worth living. In seconds Jason was the villain. Xavier cursed him. "Professor Zhou treated you best, extra lessons, home-cooked meals, all down the drain, and you pay her back by driving her only child to death?" Chase called him trash. "You took Tiffany's innocence for free, man up." Jason felt lightning strike. "When did I take anything?" Chase and Xavier hurled screenshots of Tiffany's DMs. Turns out the night before we left Hokkaido, drunk Jason had ended up in Tiffany's room. She snapped a teary selfie curled against him and forwarded it to her bros, writing, "Jason was wasted, it wasn't on purpose, I don't blame him. It's my first time, should I go get the morning after pill?" So sweet, so wronged, she gave everything and he still wanted the battle-scarred Skylar. They demanded he own up. Jason screamed innocence, but Xavier roared, "Innocent? Who ditched Skylar for Tiffany again and again? Who sneered at her gloom and let us freeze her out until she quit the group?" Jason threw the first punch. "When did I ever tell you guys to gang up on Skylar?" Xavier spat out a mouthful of blood, spun back, and unloaded a flurry. Only when Jason's mouth was dripping crimson did Xavier gasp. "One extra body showed up at the river park and you hopped into the boat with Tiffany without a second thought. You knew the rest of us hated being teamed with Skylar. If that wasn't a deliberate brush-off, what was it?" At the KTV, Tiffany chirped, "Skylar, cue that song for me, Skylar, toast this drink," and you happily treated her like waitress of the night, then dumped her in the sea. Warner while we cracked jokes. If that's not cold-blooded silent treatment, whose fault is it? Even on the ski trip, sure, we all spoiled Tiffany, but we knew marriage isn't a game. You're the one who turned the honeymoon into her playground even though any woman would mind. Don't pretend otherwise. We pampered her, sure, but we didn't empty our bank accounts doing it. Every single time, you picked Tiffany. You refused to break up, froze Skylar out again and again, forced her to walk. I used to admire your two birds one stone technique. So what act is this now? A saint routine after playing the sinner? Go to hell. Jason's head spun. He stared at the group chat on his phone as message after message slammed him. He was almost foaming at the mouth. He stormed to the roof, dragged Tiffany downstairs, and called the cops. "You love making up stories, first to Skylar, now to them. What the hell do you want?" Right then Xavier and the rest barged in. Tiffany dropped to one knee, sobbing prettily. "I only came to clear my head. It was you, Jason, who kept crossing lines and giving me hope, making me believe I mattered to you. You wouldn't break up, so I tried to nudge her into giving up. I knew she'd been with you 5 years, so I couldn't bear to hurt her. I just wanted her to see your heart and exit gracefully. Why are you so angry? Jason, you seduced me, led me into this, stole the most precious thing a girl has, and now you want to rebrand yourself and walk away? Are you trying to drive me to my death? Jason couldn't listen anymore. He swung a slap. Cut the crap. Every time you wept and begged me to stay. You said your depression would kill you and your mom wouldn't survive, so I put Skylar aside again and again to comfort you. I seduced you? You climbed into my bed, then swore you'd treat me as just another mistake and keep your mouth shut. Hell-bent on announcing it to the world, that's what you call keeping quiet. Shameless. Are you blaming me for T.E. Ling? I was terrified. You know it was my first time. Tiffany collapsed on the floor, wailing. Xavier and Chase lunged and pummeled Jason. Won't own up, Tiffany has more guts than you. You're an animal. An animal? Who kept saying, do it for Professor Zhou's sake, spend more time with Tiffany? Who branded Skylar a drama queen who couldn't understand gratitude and told me to ignore her? Who claimed Tiffany was miserable here and that we'd have no face to see the professor again? You shoved the blame on me, burned through most of my savings, then hogged the halo, and I'm the villain? You selfish scum. Xavier exploded. If Skylar hadn't snapped and mass emailed that slideshow, we wouldn't be dealing with breakups and cancelled engagements. You couldn't clean your own mess, stunk up everyone's life. Jason, you're rotten through. Overnight, the brotherhood was finished. Sophie, Xavier's ex, filmed the brawl and gleefully forwarded the clip to me. But the drama wasn't over. Tiffany's clinginess, the sneers on social media, and the guy's curses shoved Jason to rock bottom. Worse, Tiffany stormed Eastwood introducing herself as Jason's girlfriend. Any woman who worked with him, his female manager, a deal partner, even a coworker he barely nodded to, she picked the busiest moment, grabbed the woman's arm, and wept. Please, don't tempt Jason. I can't lose him, please. She even cowed out in public, begging them to back off, shoving each woman into the spotlight as the other woman. Videos surfaced online and blew up. For those coworkers, it was disaster out of nowhere. They steered clear of Jason like he was poison. Eastwood runs on teamwork. Even a prodigy can't juggle every task solo. The rising star pegged to hit $1 million year was forced to resign. Crazed, Jason threw Tiffany out of his condo and vanished. Tiffany, unable to find him, lost her mind. Chasing a man who resembled Jason, she darted across the street and was launched by a speeding car. When Professor Zhou reached the city, everyone learned Tiffany had a severe psychological disorder. The toxic player she ranted about had never been involved with her at all. His brilliance made him her fixation. When the harassment drove him out of Mistwood, her wrist-slitting drama failed to win him back and she finally quit. But then Jason's routine call to the professor was picked up by Tiffany. She recalled the senior whose wall of awards her mother once praised, now a high-flying manager who'd bought a condo within 5 years of graduation, the golden boy everyone applauded. More importantly, scrolling his feed, she saw Jason, tall and striking, even better looking than the runaway scumbag. So she came with a mission. She ended the 5-year limbo between Jason and me. Watching his misery, I felt no glee, only calm. When you ordered me around, every sentence carried the weight of your debt. Your junior's life was in tatters, stepping up for your mentor, taking responsibility for her future, anyone would hail you a hero. But why didn't you? Jason swayed, tears mixing. I never pictured a future with her, I swear. Skylar, it's all in the past, all behind us. Won't you give me one more chance? I smiled. I gave you plenty. When I was left behind at the river park and we fought over breaking up, I caved and opened the door for you. When you treated me like KTV waitress, called me stingy and a buzzkill, I hid at a friend's and cried for 3 days. Then you texted dinner time and I surrendered. When your phone rang dead at midnight, when I was stranded in a storm, feverish with no one beside me, every time I truly meant to break up. But each time the pain devoured me, I lowered my head again. You knew it, at 30 I owned nothing. My only warmth, my only anchor, the only one who understood my scars, was you. So you were sure I couldn't leave. 2 months cold turkey, I carved you out bone by bone. Every moment ached, every moment scorched. I'm no saint, ready to forgive while cornered by your innocence. I bled, you deserved the same agony. So I wrapped my breakup gift into a slideshow and shot it precisely into every inbox. I'd seen Tiffany's madness earlier than you, but I wasn't about to warn you while you despised me. Once pain bites deep, wisdom arrives. Jason, look where we stand, mutual ruin. Do you really think I'd look back? Jason finally realized, even our breakup was a scheme born of my pain. I'm resilient, I keep my word. Breakup, real. Revenge, real. The day I walked, turning back never crossed my mind. He hugged his head and sobbed as if the world had ended. So what? He's not stupid. He'd seen it all. His junior's adoration was blatant, her probes obvious. When she chirped, "Am I better than Skylar?" he knew he was crossing the line, yet patted her head and said, "You're the cutest." Being played only proved Jason's love lacked spine. He deserved it. Still he clung, trying to win me back the old way, until I'd had enough. I slipped my hand through Lucas's arm and announced in the open, "Top grad back from overseas, pillar of Eastwood, my colleague, let me introduce my boyfriend." Jason lunged to grab my hand, but Lucas pinned him to the wall. "I hear someone's been hounding her. Mind if I help you disappear?" Jason froze, panic in his eyes. Lucas pressed, "What can you offer her now? Stop chaining her in the name of love. She is her own person, not your life raft." Slowly Jason uncurled his fingers from Lucas's collar. Jobless, disgraced, stalked, what could he offer me except dread and pain? Finally he slunk away, a drenched mutt buying a same-day ticket out of town. I never saw Jason again. Love can blaze or bleed, but when it ends it stalls like an unfinished novel. No farewell toasts, no long road stretching behind, one turn and it's a lifetime. 3 years later I came back from Lyon, vaulted 2 rungs, and hit $1 million annual pay. At the Eastwood Gala I raised a glass to T. He client rep, my once assistant Lucas, now a full-grown man, swirled his wine, black brows lifting. "Standing on my own 2 feet, I finally match you. Does Director Skylar grant me dinner? 3 years is long. The tumor I carved out has filled with new flesh, no pain, no itch. A rotten chapter won't keep me from turning the page forever." So I said yes. Portside is tiny. I ran into Sophie. She's getting married, her fiancé steadier than Xavier. The rock he picked is loyal. She told me every girl named in that slideshow had since split with her guy. And last winter Tiffany finally tracked Jason down. She wanted only him, he would rather die. They tangled, toppled down a stairwell. The old clot from Tiffany's accident loosed, she died on the spot. Jason got 7 years for manslaughter. Compared with the squashed fruit under my heel, they were pure poison. Luckily I wiped the stain off mid-stride and stepped into a new chapter, while they destroyed themselves past cure. Seeing Lucas towering behind me, Sophie smiled. "Bad love, we gritted our teeth and tossed it, so we earned something better. In this wide ocean of life, the only lifeguard is yourself. Cloudy men litter the world, but clear-headed women are plenty too. Last night snow cleared, sunshine crowns every branch. I wish her, and us, ever lucid, ever blessed." Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your perspectives, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.